Baseball on ABC 7.
Gorgeous Saturday afternoon here in Chicago, and the Cubs and the Nationals will play game 2 of a 3-game weekend set. A thrilling comeback 3-2 win for the Cubs in the opener on Friday. Great to have you with us today. Along with Jim DeShays, I'm Len Casper. The Cubs now have a 3-game lead in the National League Central. We'll get right into our Goodwill pitching matchup today as John Lester takes the ball against an Illinois native.
Yeah, Tanner Roark, who's not having a great year, but he has certainly turned a corner. He's been really good of late. His last 3 starts, he's won them all with a 0.82 ERA. John Lester in his career against the Washington Nationals, 6 starts, 2-1 with 279. He's been scuffling here lately. It would be nice to see him turn a corner as well this afternoon.
Goodwill, amazing finds only at Goodwill. The Cubs a winner yesterday to start this big 5-game homestand. We'll have the middle game of this set coming up next. Chicago Cubs baseball on ABC 7 is being brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. By Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. By Mattress Firm. Go to mattressfirm.com to see how far your budget can stretch. By your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive a Hyundai today. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. ABC 7 is being brought to you by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer. By U.S. Waterproofing, a better basement starts with us. By the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group, you're going to like buying a car this way. And by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Today's HD broadcast is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. Let's check out the Washington Nationals starting lineup. Brought to you by Fix Auto. Adam Eaton leading off. Trey Turner, the shortstop. Bryce Harper batting third. Anthony Rendon scratched with a left wrist contusion. Zimmerman, Soto, and Reynolds in the middle. Daniel Murphy continues to hit well in this ballpark. Matt Wieters the catcher. Tanner Roark is the pitcher. Call 1-800-INFO-FIX for the nearest location. Fix Auto, the first words that should come to mind after an accident.
Schwarber, Almora, Hayward outfield. Bodie, Russell, Baez, Rizzo infield. Contreras behind the plate. Big John Lester shooting for win number 13 here this afternoon.
We're underway as Eaton bounces to Baez, and he has time to recover. That's a good start. Yeah, that's a good start. One pitch, one out. Here are the numbers for John, the All-Star, 12-4 with a 3.44. But it has been a rough go for him of late. And he's going to feature fastball, cutter, curve, and change. Fastball velocity averaging right around 91. That would be miles per hour. Strike called on Trey Turner. Well, bunt was the theme of the day yesterday. A couple bunts dropped down, a number of bunt attempts. Hit pretty well to right, but Hayward will grab it. Weather at first pitch is brought to you by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. For all the right reasons, call 866 Four Seasons. 85 degrees. We've got a bit of a right to left breeze working. And a lot of blue sky above. The lights are on as we get started here in the late afternoon. Shadows will start to find the field here within the hour as Bryce Harper digs in. And he lashes one into right. They have come out swinging the lumber. Swing mandate here for the Nationals. 2 outs and a knock, 4 pitches in, and we'll take a look at our Subaru keys to the game. And there's a certain amount of irony because one of them is be ready early, but that was for Cubs versus Tanner Roark, the starter for the Nationals today. Try to neutralize the speed. Eaton, Turner, keep those guys off base, and a return to June Lester would be really good. June Lester was the pitcher of the month in the National League. He went 5-0 with a 1.13. Since then, he's got a 6.81 earned run average. Ryan Zimmerman takes off the outside on a curveball. It is a typical day in Major League Baseball. You know why? Why? The Red Sox have already won. 5-0 at Baltimore. Red Sox are 83-35. Too shabby. The Cubs have the best record in the National League, 67-48, and they've got a 3-game lead in the division. Is off the inside corner. Nick Marley made his Major League debut last August. Alan Porter at first, Todd Titchener at second, and the crew chief Bill Miller is over at third. Curve on the outside for a strike. Zimmerman has really had a tough time against Cubs pitching since Joe Madden took over in 2015. He's 12 for 102. That is a 118 batting average in 26 games. Just one home run that came in the playoffs last year. And that is lifted foul. Now I give you those numbers. We said that for a long time about Matt Carpenter before that 5-game series here at Wrigley Field when he was all world. So past performance does not necessarily mean that the future or the present will stay in line.
Yeah, and I think during some of that stretch for Zimmerman, he was battling some health issues. One thing kind of grabs your attention about him this year is the work he's doing against left-handed pitching. Not a huge sample, but 19 out of 45. That's a .422 batting average.
Nationals have been playing pretty good baseball here lately, but they need to get hot. They're 5.5 games out of a playoff spot, as Zimmerman was able to hold on the curve in the dirt, and it's full.
Looked like he checked.
Rizzo will play behind Harper at first, and Harper will go here with 2 outs and a 3-2 count. Fly ball out into deep left center. As I said, past performance does not necessarily predict the future, and Ryan Zimmerman with a line drive 2-run homer to give the Nationals the lead.
Talked about the damage he had done against left-handed pitching this year. It continues with that swing of the bat. He was just 2 out of 16 lifetime against Lester before this one. But he's good. He's always been good up. Ball up belt high like that. Most guys are going to hit it hard, but he's probably better up than down in the zone. He's always been really good to the big part of the yard. We've seen him do a lot of damage. Alley to alley.
Franchise leader in home runs. That's number 259. For Ryan Zimmerman, and that, when I say franchise, includes their Expos days. One hopper is fielded by Baez. He'll throw out Soto. It's the Nationals 2 and the Cubs coming up. That's transparency. Rizzo, Baez, and Hayward at the top. Anthony had a great game yesterday, and he didn't even have a hit. Bodie, Contreras, Schwarber in the middle. Russell, Lester, and Almora rounded out.
Nationals defensively, the teenager in left, Soto, Harper, Eaton, center right, Reynolds in for Rendon, third, Turner, Murphy up the middle, Zimmerman first. The veteran backs up Matt Wieters behind the dish for Tanner Roark.
First pitch strike from Roark, who has put together a really nice career. It hasn't always gone well for him this season, but as you mentioned in the open, much better here lately.
Yeah, and he's had 2 or 3 real ugly ones that have inflated that ERA some. The run support for most of the year has not been good. So a losing record at 6-12, 4.21 the ERA, making his 23rd start.
He's from Wilmington, Illinois, 60 miles southwest of Chicago.
Likes to sink the fastball, and he's been very aggressive with that pitch, and that's been part of why he's been so successful lately. But it'll give you curve change, slider, and occasionally will cut the fastball as well. So it's a diverse mix for the right-hander.
Rizzo fouls out of play. Anthony still at 999 career hits. 3 walks in the game yesterday. An incredible 13 pitch plate appearance in the 6th against Jeremy Hellickson that turned the game around, and he ended up with the game winning bases loaded walk an inning later.
Yeah, Hellickson had a no-hitter going through 5 2/3, and then Anthony worked the walk. Baez walked. Zobrist walked. Hellickson was removed. Hayward delivered a 2-run single off Sammy Solis coming out of the bullpen. Crazy turn of events. There's a reach right there.
Yep, he got hit on the foot.
His menacing presence as the leadoff man leads to a lot of errant pitches. This one, a little one hopper off the shin bone.
And they'll bring up Javier Baez. How about this note? In 3 of the Nationals' last 6 games against the Cubs, so that would be yesterday and the 5-game division series last October, their starter has taken a no-hitter into the 6th. Strasburg, Scherzer, Hellickson, and the Nationals have lost all 3 games.
Seems like they'd want to mix that up a little bit. Give up a knock or 2.
As Dana Carvey, as Johnny Carson would have said, that is wild, weird stuff.
Johnny may even have said that, but it was better when Dana Carvey did.
Time now for the league leaderboard, brought to you by Toyota. Tested, trusted Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Baez right near the top in a lot of lists. Tied for the league lead in RBIs, and he pops it up, and the wind will push it back out of play. And a real interesting article on MLB.com by Mike Petriello about Baez's season and trying to figure out what has changed with his numbers exploding. And the conclusion of the piece is basically he is swinging more at everything, which is kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, and I think most importantly, attacking in the zone. That's been the biggest difference for me.
One bunt popped up. Wieters will grab it, foul ground. So Javi ended up having to play defense there, and I think that broke his bat. Got him up near the handle.
Jaw, yeah. The ball had a lot of run. It didn't have a whole lot of sink. Again, another. I mean, this series is going to set a record for bunt attempts, or these guys showing bunt. Looks like the wind is blowing in again today.
At times right to left, but kind of in as well from right. Jason Hayward had the Cubs' first hit. It was the game tying single in the 6th. He is hitless against Roark in his career. Nothing out of 18. So maybe he'll hit a 2-run homer like Zimmerman did.
Go for a hook and run into the right field corner. That would play.
Big lead by Rizzo. He's not running, and the pitch is a little high.
So this turnaround for Tanner Roark over his last 3 ball games, 22 innings pitched, 20 strikeouts, just 1 walk issued. Very aggressive. He's thrown first pitch strikes over 75% of the time in each of his last 2 starts.
Zimmerman wants the Nationals to check with the video room.
He had a healthy lead. If that throw is down around the bag, he's out.
Davey will challenge it. I think he might have been out. But it's a bold challenge to make in the first inning. And this manager's challenge is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
One of the other subplots for this game today, as we look at Davey Martinez in the Nationals dugout, is how will he handle the running game with John Lester on the mound? Now, he's witnessed everything that went down here over the last couple of years with John struggling and unwilling to throw the ball to first base, and how the Cubs were able to combat that. I don't know if he saw anything along the way that would lead his guys to be more aggressive than most teams are now.
Anthony is out. And the Nationals retain their challenge.
Well, it was a big part of the day yesterday. The pickoff, Juan Soto was picked off twice, once by Hendricks and then once by Contreras.
So nobody aboard, and a 1-0 to Hayward is in there for a strike. Popped up. Zimmerman in foul territory, battling the sun, and the Cubs do not score in the first. 2-0 for the visitors. Rendon, and this stat of the game is brought to you by Mattress Firm, where your budget stretches further. Only player to hit 30 and bat under 200. He's had a pretty fascinating career.
High quality baby right there. Yeah, he's you mentioned it yesterday, 3 true outcome guy, a lot of strikeouts, a lot of walks, tremendous power.
Nice under the radar late signing by the Nationals. They inked him to a minor league deal in April. 1 strike on the veteran Reynolds.
He is 8 out of 41, a 195 batting average with 1 long ball against John Lester. With the major league record for strikeouts in a season in 2009 when he punched out 223 times. He also hit 44 home runs that year. Batted in 102, had an OPS of 892.
The 34-year-old lefty fires on a 1-2 and just missed the outside corner.
Trying to influence the young home plate umpire Nick Marley, but he wouldn't bite. The thing, you know, Reynolds strikes out a lot, but it's not like he's just up there flailing away chasing everything. He's pretty disciplined. He works a lot of deep counts, so he puts himself in strikeout peril.
Just foul. So Anthony Rendon got hit by a Kyle Hendricks pitch in the first inning yesterday, and it was sore this morning, so he was in the original lineup before being scratched and replaced by Reynolds. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on the curveball.
It's a low 3/4 arm slot and kind of works off the side of the ball, so it's not a real sharp 12-6 downward breaking curveball, more of a sweeper.
Daniel Murphy had 3 hits on Friday. Starting to heat up. 384 over his last 26 games. Began the year recovering from knee surgery.
The Nationals have been good in the second half of the season. Offense has been clicking. Pitching has been good. Question is, do they have enough time? You get to that point in the season now where you start to play the game. Boy, if the Braves and the Phillies play at this level, what are the, 500 a little bit better, what are the Nationals going to have to do to run them down? And it's pretty daunting.
Baez with a good effort can't get it. Murphy has his 4th hit of the series. A 1-out single. Yeah, the Brewers did not do them any favors last night as the Braves blew out Milwaukee, but the Braves did help the Cubs.
Yeah, I would think the Brewers are starting to suffer a little separation anxiety. 3 back now doesn't seem like a lot, but it's 5 in the loss column.
And they're only 3.5 up on surging St. Louis. Switch hitting Matt Wieters, veteran catcher, lines one out into left center. Murphy is going to try for 3rd, and he'll make it without a throw. He ended up belly flopping into the bag. Real early slide, and he's getting up slowly.
Just catches this one off the end of the bat. He's a big, strong guy, so able to muscle it out there to left center. I think Almora made the right decision here. Murphy does not run well, so he might have had a shot at him, but he would have taken a perfect throw. I think he made the wise decision.
And that is potentially a significant base game because Tanner Roark has had a fine season with the bat. He's 8 out of 43, and he leads all major league pitchers in RBIs. Swing and a miss. He's got 7 RBIs, all as a pitcher. John Lester has 7, but one of those as a pinch hitter.
Well, based on that swing, I just keep spinning it. That was pretty ugly for a guy who can handle the bat pretty well. He was just cheating on a heater there.
What's going on there?
A little butcher boy, little fake sack. Again, Davey Martinez knows his Cubs team so well. He knows how aggressively Anthony defends the bunt. So he shows bunt early and then has Roark pull it back, trying to hit one through an open hole. You see Russell starting to break to cover second. Rizzo was charging.
And you saw Contreras ready to throw. Already 28 pickoff attempts. No other catcher has more than a dozen. There's the bunt. Murphy is going to hold at third. So Roark gets Wieters to second, and it will bring up Eaton with 2 outs.
Every W counts, so everybody in. We've hit the stretch run, and the Cubs need your support as they chase another NL Central title. Tickets still available for the Reds and Mets homestand at the end of this month. Get your tickets at Cubs.com.
Eaton made a quick out to open the ball game. Lately, he had been out of the lineup against lefties. They had been leading off Turner. But Davey essentially going with the same lineup they had yesterday, except for Wieters catching, and then Rendon out due to the wrist bruise. It's only the second, but this feels like an important sequence. The score already 2-0.
Again, you don't know how good Roark is going to be today, but he's been really good the last 3 times out. Eaton hitting just $160 against left-handed pitching this year, but in the past he's hung in there well against southpaws. No power against lefties, but decent average.
Not to be confused with the former Major League pitcher, Adam Eaton.
Mostly a Padre, right?
Yep. Two balls and a strike. The many iconic Vin Scully lines. The right-hander was, I think, pitching a shutout late in the game. He said, "Adam Eaton out of his hand."
Ah, nice.
3-1. Turner on deck. Kick and a pitch, swing and a miss.
There's something extra there in that heater at 93 across the top of the zone.
Typically, when John pitches against this team, you get a lot of quality. Fouled away. 7 career starts, including the postseason. All quality outings. He made 1 relief appearance versus the Nationals last October in the division series. He's had to work pretty hard here in these first 2 innings. After getting 2 quick outs to start the game. Called, struck 3. Nationals strand a couple. And after an inning and a half, it's still 2-0 Washington. Hooters, 2 outs. 6th inning, no hitter for Jeremy Hellickson. And Anthony Rizzo just kept fouling off pitches before eventually working a 13-pitch walk. Hellickson would end up leaving the game with his no-hitter intact, but 2 runs would score on the Hayward hit, both charged to Hellickson. He gets a tough no decision, and the Cubs end up winning the game. One strike on David Bodie. And that loss, for all the reasons we mentioned earlier, pretty damaging for the Nationals. They can't afford to drop too many, especially games they lead, and get a start like they did from Hellickson. 1-2 to Bodie. Foul tip, strike 3.
One of the reasons why Tanner Roark has had this turnaround is sitting out in the Cubs bullpen. A fellow by the name of Brandon Kinsler, his former teammate who, like Roark, is a sinker baller. And Tanner was really scuffling. Apparently, Brandon chatted him up and said, "Hey, man, you got to throw your sinker more. You got to trust it. You got to stay on that backside a little bit longer. Let your legs work for you." And apparently, after that conversation, where things really turned around for Tanner.
Contreras takes strike 1 on a curveball at 75. One ball to Murphy.
You can now watch every remaining ABC 7 broadcast of Cubs baseball on Facebook Live, presented by BioFreeze, the official external pain reliever of the Chicago Cubs. Check out today's broadcast right now at facebook.com/Cubs.
Here's Kyle Schwarber. Leadoff single in the 7th in game 1, and eventually scored the game winner on the Rizzo bases loaded walk. Roark was on the Nationals roster in the division series, but he never did pitch. Recall he was named to start game 4 with Steven Strasburg under the weather before the Nationals reversed course and went with Strasburg instead. Roark also was not used in game 5 as Gio Gonzalez got the start. And as you would imagine, Roark admitted it was an emotional roller coaster, but he drew praise from the organization for how he handled it. I remember in 2008 when the Cubs got swept by the Dodgers. Ted Lilly, who had a really good regular season that year, he didn't pitch. I believe he was going to start game 4, but it never got to game 4.
Yeah, well, as you know, the rotations tend to shrink in the postseason. Adjustments are made along the way, and it's really nothing new for Roark. You go back to his regular season 2014. He was a 15-game winner, made 31 starts that year, finished with a 2.85 ERA. The next year, struggled to even be part of the rotation. They started him in the pen. They've been pretty pitching rich over the years. So he's been one of those guys that, you know, whatever you need me to do, start bullpen. This year it's been all out of the rotation as it was last year. And last year he was a 16-game winner. Or, excuse me, 16 he was. Last year a 13-game winner.
That one swatted out in the right center, and the Cubs have their first hit. Good exit velo on that one.
Yeah, he hit a ball through the right side yesterday as well between first and second.
That brings up Addison Russell, the shortstop. Called strike. So the Nationals here through tomorrow night. Off day Monday, and then a two matinee series against Milwaukee. Shallow center. Harper will not get there, and Schwarber will make third on a bloop single from Russell. Back-to-back two-out hits.
Count the same. One was a rocket, the other one just a little pop-up. Harper in hot pursuit, couldn't get there in time. Now Lester will have the same opportunity that Roark did to drive in a run. And John's out back comes with 2 outs, so the bunt not an option.
Lester, as we know, can handle the bat. And the first pitch misses inside on a fastball. 2 career home runs. I mentioned the RBI leaders. One of John's RBIs technically as a pinch hitter, but his primary position is pitcher. Third hack that time.
A good pass at it. Roark, lifetime 4-2 with a 4.06 against the Cubs, but most of his recent work has been really good. His last 4, he's 3-0 with a 2.74. He's 2-1 with a 2.70 ERA here at Wrigley.
They play him toward the off-field. In the outfield. One and two. Roark has a sign. Pitch is grounded to Murphy. She'll strand 2. And we head off to the third on a glorious Saturday. It's 2-0 Washington.
fitness news. Terrell Brown, Tanya Babich, Roz Barron, and meteorologist Tracy Butler get you ready for the week with the latest news, weather, and traffic.
And this Wednesday, August 15th, the Cubs host the Brewers at 1:20 p.m. Up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans receive a Kyle Hendricks bobblehead presented by Las Vegas. Tickets are still available for that game at Cubs.com. And yes, that is a Kyle Hendricks start. Good timing. Stats just tweeted this, and the Red Sox and Orioles have another game today. With the Red Sox beating Baltimore, the Orioles have been mathematically eliminated from the American League East race. 46 games left. That's the most in the divisional era since 1969. And they have tied the 62 Mets and the 32 Red Sox for the earliest date to be eliminated from a league or division race. It's August 11th. So there's that.
Yeah, they never had time to panic. There was never a sense of urgency. They're done.
47.5 games out. 1-1 to Turner and a base hit. 5th hit for the Nationals. And he is a big threat to run as we look at the business of baseball, brought to you by Comcast Business, built for business. Red Sox stay hot. Albert Pujols now the 9th player with 1,000 hits in each league. That Yankee game was earlier, 5-3 over Texas. As Stanton hit number 29. Miguel Andujar with number 17. Pretty good rookie year for.
Hey, he had a pretty good shot of being the rookie of the year.
And strike to Harper. Here it comes. Fouled at the plate.
Yeah, big second half for Bryce Harper. Just a matter of time before he would really turn it on. The batting average was down the first half of the season, but the power number is still good, taking a bunch of walks.
Turner has 31 steals. That leads the majors. Not looking like he wants to go. 1-2. Wide one. Zimmerman next. He homered in the first. And Turner's first move when Lester lifted his leg was back to first.
See it all the time. Yep. Even with very successful base stealers, they know he doesn't like to throw to first, so they take that huge lead. But it doesn't do you any good if you're breaking back to the bag as the pitch is being delivered.
He is being assisted by Buffalo Grove, Illinois native Tim Bogar, the Nationals first base coach.
Bogar has interviewed for numerous managerial jobs over the years, yet to land one.
There he goes, foul tip, strike 3, and the throw will kick into center. So a stolen base and an error on Contreras. Turner has his 32nd of the season.
Unfortunately, Russell not able to knock that one down, and an extra 90 feet for Turner. Turner running really had to hurry that throw, and I don't think he ever got a real good grip on it. Looked like he threw a two-seamer down there.
Joe just gave the hand gesture for the infielders to all move in. First pitch to Zimmerman. It was a strike on a cutter. StatCast AI powered by AWS. Missed wide. The Cubs have gotten just 8 quality starts in 22 games since the All-Star break, but 3 in their last 4 games. And they've also received 6 innings plus from the starting pitcher in 4 straight games for the first time since late April. Another deep drive. Almora's back on it, and he'll make the catch on the warning track. Zimmerman has knocked in 3 as Turner scores on the sac fly.
Another good swing, powerful swing from Zimmerman. This pitch somewhat similar to the home run ball in that it was up above the belt, pumped into straightaway center field. This one stays in the yard. Throwing error contributes to the 3rd run for the Nationals. Soto getting 371 against lefties this year. What doesn't he do? Well, he doesn't run the bases very well. He got picked off twice yesterday. Very young player, without a whole lot of minor league experience. So he's still learning.
Yeah, I was chatting with a former big league player before the game in the press box, and said, you know, you get to the big leagues at 19 because you can hit, and you make the mistakes at this level in terms of base running that I made in Batavia in front of 200 people. 3-0 Washington, 3rd inning.
Scott, Larry Mowry, Tracy Butler, and Phil Schwartz alert you first to changing conditions and severe weather. ABC 7 Eyewitness News, your AccuWeather station.
Ball one on Albert Almora Jr. Batting ninth today. He and his wife Crystal, in partnership with Paws Chicago, hosted Almora's Adoption Day at Gallagher Way this morning. And 4 of the 7 featured dogs got adopted. Nice going, Albert and Crystal. There's a ground ball into left for a base hit.
Karma.
The available pets today. Gorgeous dogs. And let's see the names of the dogs. There was a 3-month-old male shepherd border collie mix named Albert. A 6-month American blue heeler named Crystal. There was a Clark, an Addison, a Cubby, a Wrigley, and an Ivy.
Second time Anthony has been a little disgruntled with the home plate umpire. You see it a lot, pitches that appear to be off the plate, but Anthony's so close to the plate it influences the home plate umpire. Off the plate, but close to Rizzo.
Got a piece.
So I guess if he were to throw the ball to the inside corner, it would only be fair if Marley called that a ball.
Huge crowd today. This might be close to the largest of the season here at Wrigley Field. Readers thought about a throw to first, but didn't have a good grip. Not easy to throw around Anthony Rizzo either.
No, you can hide behind him, though. You can sneak out from behind him and sling one down there.
Ground ball toward right. For a hit. That's number 1,000, and will send Almora to third. Cubs dugout asking for the ball. Congratulations to Anthony Rizzo.
Not a big opportunity as well as the fans rise to recognize Anthony reaching 1,000 hits. Daniel Murphy, the veteran second baseman. I was watching him run earlier. When he's running straight on, he moves okay, but laterally, he was very limited. He did not have very good range at all. He should at least glove that one.
Big opportunity, trailing by 3. First and third, no outs. And Javier Baez, the all-star at the plate. Inside for ball 1.
Yeah, it worked. They throw that runner in on his hands. That's what they did last time. He ultimately tried to bunt one, and if he hadn't gotten wood on it, it probably would have hit him in the chest. Talked earlier about how often he swings, whether it's in the zone, out of the zone, fastballs or curveballs. The one pitch that he takes with some degree of regularity is that one, the fastball well in off the plate. Everything else he feels like he can get to.
center. Now Moore ready to tag. Rizzo going halfway. Catch made. Catch made by Eaton. Call made from first base by Alan Porter. They're saying the ball was coming out of the glove or reaching in to pull it out. So it's 3-1 on a sac fly. It's close, but when you put your hand in there, they're going to give you the out.
Yeah, there was a time in baseball where this would have been ruled a no catch, I think, because you used to have to be able to cleanly pull the ball out of your glove.
Crowd doesn't like it on the video replay, but again, they almost always give you the out once you reach your hand in. So the Cubs are on the board. And Baez has his league leading 89th RBI.
He picked off last time, a much more modest lead here. Nationals have made just 46 errors this year. It's the fewest in Major League Baseball.
I thought you summed up their season perfectly yesterday when you said if you looked at all the stats, they have been worse in terms of the sum of their parts. Swing and a miss on a possible hit and run, and Rizzo's out at second. Tough day on the bases for Anthony. Picked off earlier and caught stealing here. Let's see. Did he ever tag him?
Not seen anything yet.
Oh, there he did.
Wow.
That second foot never got to the bag.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
That's a great look. Let's see. Second busted hit and run of Jason up there in the last few days. Normally you can count on him to put that ball in play.
Just to get back to my point earlier, they have not run the bases particularly well, and we saw some examples of that yesterday. But if you look at where the Nationals rank across the board, you'd expect them to have a better record than their 59 and 57. And we both thought in spring training they might run away and hide in the National League East, and that has not happened.
No, they were in first place around June 10th. Their high water mark 10 games above 500. Since then they have kind of limped along. They're just two better than the break-even mark now. And the Braves and the Phillies, two of the big surprise teams in all of baseball, just happen to be in their division.
We often talk about surprise teams being the teams you didn't think were going to be very good and are. Soto will make the knee-high grab, but the Nationals have been a big surprise in the other direction. They lead today 3-1 after 3. Inns Casinos, your entertainment escape. Cubs getting a run in the bottom of the third. It's still trail by 2. Reynolds, Murphy, and Wieters against John Lester. And Reynolds joined the Nationals. He joined one longtime familiar face. I'm sure he's reminisced at times this season about the old days with Ryan Zimmerman. They grew up in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Played ball together. The Uptons, BJ and Justin, David Wright. And all 5 guys were shortstops at that time. And all eventually made it to the major leagues. Reynolds and Zimmerman would then play together in college at Virginia. Can you imagine having like an American Legion type team with those 5 guys?
They'd do a lot of damage, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
It's a pretty fertile baseball area there. Obviously. And Virginia isn't come first to mind. You talk about California and Florida and Texas. Doing the walk-off on that backdoor cutter. Didn't quite get the corner.
Verbally here, he wasn't happy either. So full count to Reynolds. Deep left, off the wall. Schwarber gets to it quickly, and he'll keep Reynolds to a long single. A ball that just missed a homer, and Lester now looked like he might have either been staring down or had a couple of words for Nick Marley, as he thought he had Reynolds struck out. The ball was blistered off the wall and left. It was not where John wanted to throw that pitch.
Reynolds, a victim of his own strength there. Hit that ball so hard, it got out there so quickly. No chance to get to second base. Well played by Schwarber.
So the leadoff man is on for the 2nd consecutive inning, and Murphy takes a called strike.
Not all of them, but most of the balls, most of the hits have been very sharply hit here. Turner last inning hit a bullet to left. That ball was really smoked by Reynolds. It's a deep lineup. I mean, it's a tough lineup. And again, going back to our conversation about some of the parts in the Nationals, it's a little bit of a head scratcher. And you look at the power, the speed in the lineup, the balance left and right, some of the numbers these individual guys have put up. Now injuries obviously have been part of their story for sure. I know that Davies had his entire club on the field together. The lead 8 for very many games at all this year. Steven Strasburg has only made 14 starts. Their closer, Sean Doolittle, currently on the disabled list. They've got the depth issues in the bullpen because of that.
Two to Murphy in the dirt. Contreras keeps it near the plate. The narrative around the Nationals, JD, has been disappointment. Going into the season, the 2nd best record in baseball since 2012 behind the Dodgers. 4 division titles in the last 6 years, but losing in the division round all 4 seasons.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the game. It's hard to win. It's hard to win in the regular season, obviously tougher in the postseason.
Deep drive to left center. Almora will run out of room. It's a homer for Murphy. And it's 5-1 Washington.
And Murphy, one of those guys that has been hurt a lot this year, recovering from knee surgery. And when he first came back, he was scuffling, but of late, He's really been on fire. He's done all kinds of damage against the Cubs here in this ballpark in particular.
As I said earlier, we've never seen him bad.
Yeah.
Ever.
He gets out in front of this cut fastball. Hammers it the other way. Home run number 5 for Murphy this year.
So 2 homers for the Nationals. Zimmerman in the first, Murphy here in the fourth. Low on Wieters.
Just doesn't quite have the finish on his pitches. I suspect at some point Joe will find a way to buy John some extra time between starts.
Mike Montgomery will have his next start pushed back. Trying to make sure his innings are under control as we near September. Two and 2 on Wieters, who has spent 2 different stints on the DL this year. An oblique and a hamstring.
Talked about the success the Nationals have had since 2012. Finished first 4 times. Second on 2 occasions. They're currently in third. On Sunday, August 26th, celebrate and honor Chicago's first responders by supporting Kyle Schwarber's 2nd annual block party. Enjoy games, food, drinks, and live music alongside Kyle's teammates and first responders. Your support will help provide resources through education, essential tools, and experiences in their efforts to better serve their communities. Tickets at cubscharities.org.
Single homer walk. And now the pitcher Roark, who picked up a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd inning. Bodie already way in at third. Rizzo ready to charge if needed. Here he comes. Baez jockeying in behind Wieters. And
yeah, Wieters took a very, normally when a first baseman crashes on that play, the base runner will take an aggressive secondary lead. But with Baez kind of encroaching on him and Contreras behind the plate, Wieters didn't take much of a secondary, and then he went scampering back to the bag. Winning years I referenced to the Nationals, they didn't back into anything either. 98 wins in 2012, 96 and 14.
Pushed foul.
95 wins in 2016, 97 last year. Cub fans would say, hey, hang with them, boys.
Right, and so Dave Martinez gets his first chance as a full-time manager with a built-in level of success in terms of the roster he inherited, but also a lot of pressure built in. Called strike 3. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Right. So what would you rather have as a first-time manager?
I was
the burden
ask
of
you
expectation or a roster that's not as loaded and without the pressure?
I would want security. I would probably want the really good team and the pressure with as much security as I could get.
that's the other part of it too. Is it's a bit of a high risk hire to bring in a first time manager with this kind of a club.
Yeah, he replaced a guy with as much experience as just about any living human being who's ever managed, Dusty Baker. Well, the Red Sox and Yankees did the same thing. Eaton with the bunt. And Bodie threw him out. Eaton was trying to bunt for a hit. He might be credited with a sacrifice, but David Bodie with a great play.
Yeah, Bodie's he's really good. He's got great hands, great feet, always under control. So this is the key to that play. You got to come hard, but you have to be under control as well. You notice he's got a speedy guy going down the line. His baseball clock says, I got about that much time. It was very similar to the play yesterday that Wilson Contreras was ultimately called out on for running outside of the lane.
A strike on Turner. Now the big difference between Dave Martinez and Alex Cora and even Aaron Boone is Davey has been in uniform as a coach for a long time, and it always felt like this was an overdue opportunity. He interviewed for a ton of jobs, and we were thrilled he got it. But as you said, that he's not going to be allowed to really grow into the job. He's paid to win and win now. Here's the 1-1 swing and a miss.
A shot at Davey. You saw next to him Chip Hale, his bench coach. And Chip managed the Diamondbacks for a couple of years and also managed in the minor leagues for a number of seasons. It's Chip, number 10 there. So critically important, a first-time manager, to have a bench coach with some managerial experience.
Turner taking a little extra time. Lester nearing 80 pitches as he tries to get through this fourth inning. And foul. The atmosphere here yesterday was as good as it gets. The Cubs were able to come back after doing very little offensively early. Kyle Hendricks kept the Nationals at 2. Bullpen was great. But the Nationals striking early again today.
Well, that's been a common theme for the Cubs this year, coming from behind. Hey, tell me if you can solve this puzzle. It's coming up after a pitch.
Okay.
So everything in so far.
All right.
Here's your puzzle. You got it?
Turner and Pooch.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
Trey Turner draws the walk. I was thinking like table setter, or like an Irish setter or something. Oh, it's ball three. Oh, good try by Trey. It didn't work.
Harper has to go back to the on deck circle.
Wait, well, let's see. Yes, it is 3-2.
There you go. Turner and Pooch.
Did you come up with that?
Might have.
Toward the middle, and a base hit. Wieters around third, might be a play. He is going to be saved. Six to 1.
Yeah, Wieters does not run well. Boy, I thought they were going to get him. The mound took a little bit off of that throw from Albert. And it takes a wide turn and sneaks in the back door.
I don't think Wilson ever tagged him. Oh, maybe he did. That might
be worth a look, at this stage of the game.
Yep. A 5-1 ball game. If they think he got his sleeve, he's out.
It to that shoulder there. Perhaps just a moment before the hand slapped home plate.
This is certainly worth a 50-50 challenge. Because even if you lose it, what are you waiting for, right? That's why the Cubs are going to have them look at it. And this manager's challenge is brought to you by Subaru.
He's out.
Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Looked like you could just see the sleeve ruffle just a little bit as he applied the tag, and I don't think the hand was to the plate yet.
Well, Wieters was on the DL with a hamstring issue this season. He really labored from second base to the plate.
And again, I don't know how Turner doesn't end up on second base on that play. Same thing happened in the ball game yesterday. 2 outs. You know the throw's going home. If they want to cut it to try to make a play on you, you make sure you guarantee your slow-footed catcher scores. Well, they're taking a little extra time with this one, understandably. It was whisker close.
Right. Can you definitively say he brushed the sleeve? It sure looks like it, but is it enough?
Yeah, there's a chance that the hand had touched that outside corner of the plate.
See, this is the problem that I have, and maybe it's just me. The more I look, the more confused I get.
Right.
It looked clearly out on like the second look. And then after about 8 of them, I don't know what I'm looking at.
I think that's going to be, again, I think they got him. And I think what we're going to find out is the call stands where they didn't have enough to overturn.
Cubs lose their challenge, but again, I think it was worth the try. And it's now 6-1. I bet you Turner tries to run here. Not on this one. On the base hit. And Turner will hold it second. And going back to your point, that could have been another run. And Turner then at second.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things we've heard about the Nationals, that they're a little sloppy on the base paths. They're knocking the cover off the ball here this afternoon. 6 runs on 9 hits. There's some activity in the Cubs pen, as in guys moving about and stretching, but nobody has started to throw yet. That's likely going to happen here momentarily. Jim Hickey out there probably doesn't have a whole lot of good news for John. Just trying to keep him engaged. Saying, no, not going your way, man, but give us whatever you can.
And the other thing, remember Turner fouled a ball off himself. So that's the other thing. Is again, he might be the fastest guy in the league, but might not be at 100%. Zimmerman has hit a 2-run homer and a warning track sacrifice fly. As Turner's still flexing, I believe, his right leg. Harper and Rizzo having a chat down at first base as Harper takes his lead. 2-0.
Hey man, it's a good place to play. You'd like it here.
Right. Newly signed Jorge De La Rosa playing catch.
Rocky Bridges was a long-time minor league manager, big league coach. I don't think he ever managed in the big leagues. One time as a minor league manager, he went to the mound. Greg Minton was pitching, and he was getting knocked around, giving up a bunch of runs. And Rocky went out and said, "Hey, I'm going to go to my office and fill out some reports. If this inning ever ends, come in and see me."
3-2 on Zimmerman.
Chili Davis played for Rocky. Giant farmhand. Players loved him.
Bridges, an infielder who played for multiple teams in the 50s and early 60s, mostly in the National League.
Very big personality, very quotable guy.
Runners go on a 3-2, and what a day for Zimmerman. That is a 3-run shot. And it's now 9-1. So Zimmerman, I gave you the numbers earlier. Over the previous 3 seasons against the Cubs, and including yesterday, had hit 118 versus Cubs pitching, but he's had a huge afternoon. 6 RBIs, 2 home runs.
Head right on a beautiful swing by Zimmerman, and another rough day for John. This underscores how important it is for you, Darvish, to get back, get healthy, and get into the mix.
So a short day for the Cubs starter. And this call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. A Cub debut when we return. backs earlier.
Yeah, they worked him hard. He threw 42 times for them, 35 innings, 37 hits, 463 earned run average. Fastball, changeup, cutter, and occasionally a curveball. Changeup's always been a good pitch for him.
Facing Juan Soto. And a strike. We have 37 against 19. It's not uniform number, that's age. De La Rosa was 23 when he made his debut for Milwaukee in 2004.
Moved on to the Royals. And then the Rockies had a bit of success as a starter for Colorado.
Yeah, he had a nice run.
Seasons. Yep.
200 starts with the Rockies.
So yeah, 3 16-win seasons. Also won 14 games for them one year. And memory serves me correctly, he was one guy could tame Coors Field. He had good numbers out there.
An aggressive swing by Soto, and he fouls it off. De La Rosa is the all-time leader in strikeouts as a Rocky with 985. The all-time wins leader by a wide margin with 86. Aaron Cook next on the list at 72. Yeah, so to say he's an all-time Rockies pitcher would be very accurate. Swing and a miss. And the inning finally over, but they add 6 to their lead. And it's 9-1 in the fourth.
Each one of their Cubs matchups on the Live Well Network. Today's encore of Cubs Nationals will be aired in its entirety beginning at 7 on ABC 7's digital channel 7.2. And those cable channel positions listed there.
Cubs are down big 9-1 as they bat here in the fourth inning against Tanner Roark. They came in at 6-12. Pitching much better here lately. And David Bodie takes a sinking fastball on the inside edge. Darvish, I guess, is scheduled to throw another live batting practice session on Tuesday before the Brewers series as Turner gets Bodie. And the save of the game is brought to you by Feldco. Right now at Feldco, buy one window, get one free. Call 866-4FELDCO today. Big bottom of the 8th. Pickoff at first by Contreras in the division series game 5. They get Jose Lobaton, and Juan Soto was the victim yesterday.
One yesterday so impressive because Anthony was playing so far off the line. That's why Soto had such a big lead. And the timing had to be just perfect. A lot of things can go wrong on a play like that. But when it goes right, it sure looks good. Well, for much of the season, run support has not been there for Roark, but of late, scored a bunch of runs for him. 2 starts ago, they scored 25 against the Mets in support of Tanner.
Now 3-1.
Yeah, I would think his MO here would be to throw a lot of just sinkers over the heart of the plate, let him run down to the bottom of the zone, try to get early contact, and see how efficient he can be and pitch as deeply into this game as possible.
Strike 2. Well, the comeback Cubs are going to have to kick it into overdrive today, down 8. It's still a long way to go. Line shot, snagged by Murphy. A leaping catch by Daniel Murphy.
Well, Contreras did everything really well in this plate appearance, excuse me. Got the 3-0, took a couple borderline pitches down around the knees, hit the ball sharply. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out for you. Murphy climbs the ladder to haul it in. Not sure if that's a shot of glee or surprise, but he's very excited to have it. Roark went up with him.
Schwarber with 2 outs. Swings away and hoists into left, and it'll be Soto to end the inning. And it's 9-1 Washington after 4. by Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy, traditional German Weiss beer with natural lemonade flavor. For a taste that's perfect lakeside, dockside, or just plain outside, Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy. Welcome to the Liney side. Pedro Strop from yesterday.
And Bullpen was very good in the ball game yesterday.
What we got working there? Eye black plus the sunglasses. See, if they had one of those umbrella hats, that'd be the trifecta.
I've never seen eye black applied quite that way before.
2-1 on Mark Reynolds. Foul out of play. These are frustrating days for sure, but the big picture looks good. The Cubs starting the afternoon with not only a 3-game lead, but also 5 ahead of Milwaukee in that all-important loss column. People sometimes ask, why does it matter? Why is the loss column more important than the win column? The reason is, if you're trailing a team, you want to be able to catch that team ahead of you by winning. You don't want to try to catch the team ahead of you by asking for that team to lose, right? So if you're the Brewers, those losses at 53 losses, you can't have 52. They need the Cubs to lose 5 more games for them to truly catch them.
Yeah, they're in the bank, so to speak.
Yep. And those central standings are brought to you by the Bob LaCourcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. Every team talks about controlling their own destiny, and that's why the loss column matters. You lose that control and you have 5 more losses. The Brewers have put Joakim Soria on the DL. Corey Knebel is out of the closer's role, and for now Craig Counsell will go with the matchups. Last night it didn't matter as they lost in blowout fashion in Atlanta 10-1. Reynolds strikes out.
Cubs and Brewers will play 8 more times before the end of the year. Those will obviously be huge games. There's a split finger pitch from De La Rosa, catching Reynolds way out in front.
You can't overstate the importance of that 2-game series this coming week. And nothing will be totally determined. But if the Cubs win those 2 games and go into that series with a 3-game lead or so, that puts a huge dent in the Brewers' chances. So it should be a fun series.
Yeah, because we're kind of getting down to the nitty gritty here. 47 ball games left.
Even a split isn't the worst thing in the world. Cubs won 7 of the first 8 games in the season series against Milwaukee. Two on Murphy. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Actually,
again, the off-speed pitch.
Cubs won 8 of the first 9 against the Brewers before being shut out in back-to-back games. So Chris Bryant taking some more ground balls today. I guess some light swinging drills as he tries to get back into some major baseball activity, hopefully soon. Darvish, I mentioned, will have another live BP session on this homestand. Drew Smyly hoping to return this season. The recovery time has been an issue between sessions, just muscle soreness. Wieters draws the walk. He's been on all 3 times from the 8th spot.
MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $49.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game. Plus, get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer.
Roark swings and misses.
Well, I wonder how many folks will head over to the south side to catch a doubleheader here today. Indians are in town to play the White Sox. Trevor Bauer and James Shields will pitch.
I read our buddy Matt Vasgersian will call 3 innings with Hawk tomorrow and then head over here for the Sunday night game tomorrow night. That's kind of fun. Also kind of fun, David Wright is starting a minor league rehab assignment. So hopefully he'll be back at some point. It's 9-1 Washington in the 5th. By the Lincoln Motor Company. By Insure on the Spot. For quality insurance you can afford, head to insureonthespot.com. By Lakeside Bank. Personal customized banking. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. And by Autobarn Alfa Romeo in Evanston. For the largest selection on new Alfa Romeos, shop the Autobarn Alfa Romeo in Evanston.
Today's hot cold players are brought to you by Plumbers 911. David Peralta has been swinging a hot bat for the Diamondbacks for a long time now. Last 8, OPS up over 1,300. Jonathan Scope, the Brewers picked him up from Baltimore. He has struggled since putting on a Brewer uniform. Call day or night at 1-833 Plum 911. Plumbers 911, your plumbing connection.
1-1 count. on Addison Russell. He went.
We've got a new big leader to add to our all character team, our new all attribute team, if you will. Patrick Wisdom has been called up by the St. Louis Cardinals. Third baseman.
Rick Wise.
Rick Sweet. Mark Grace.
Ben Lively. Swing and a miss. Ball strike 3.
A good change up there from Roark. This is his second strikeout. He got Bodie back in the second inning. You see the circle change. You know, it's a good one when you beat a guy right there, belt high over the inner half. The changeup normally doesn't play that location anyway. But he really sold it. He caught Russell out in front.
How about Pid Purdy?
Pid Purdy? It's something I stumbled across the other day. We like to play around with names, and especially some of the really old timers. I've talked a lot about Pud Galvin over the years. And I always assumed it was Pud. Now I'm hearing it's Pud. Pud.
Like Puddin'?
Like Puddin', like he was so good he turned hitters to Puddin'. Somebody from Sabre will clue us in on the actual pronunciation and derivation of that nickname. I think that was a fairly common term back in the day in the sports pages and the banter that went around the game. He turned him into Puddin'.
Well, Cub related. Reggie Jackson outfit working. It's Evers, not Evers.
Right.
Johnny
Evers.
Estella, the pinch hitter, draws the walk.
A weird one there. First walk of the day issued by Roark, and it comes with a 9-1 lead. Sometimes you just miss.
Outside for ball 1 on Albert Almora, our Xfinity strike zone. The middle of that strike zone.
Started the day talking about Roark's sinker, and he's had a good one today, but he has not been a one-trick pony. Curve, cutter, changeup. Making good use of all of his weapons.
Mike checks in on Twitter with the all attribute team. John Smiley would be on that pitching staff.
Smiley, yeah. Vita Blue.
If it were a football team, Bill Cowher might well, that's really a verb. As Almora punches out. So 2 away, and it'll bring up Rizzo, who notched his 1,000th hit in the 3rd.
Good tight rotation on that curveball.
Anthony was caught stealing after that single, but it was a busted hit and run. So that's not really a base running mistake. It's more on the hitter to make contact. A play by Wieters. Thankfully, these types of scores for the Cubs have been few and far between. And it feels like lately they've played a lot of real tight ones.
Yeah, the exception being the finale of the series in Kansas City. They got beat 9-zip there. Most of that damage came late. It was a pretty competitive game till the end.
Eaton will make the catch, and we will head to the 6th. All Nationals 9-1. This pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Mike Montgomery with a short stint here in the bullpen before his next scheduled start, which will be a week from today in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you'd prefer to use him in a higher leverage situation and have that extra lefty out there in the bullpen to help you win a ball game, but circumstances being what they are, get innings to finish this one off. Hey, there's a new guy at first base.
Bodie to Montgomery. Out at first is Adam Eaton. Well, they've done the job against Eaton. He's 0 for 3 with a sacrifice, but they haven't needed his bat much today.
Don't know how much first base David Bodie has on his resume, but I'm guessing not a whole lot. These guys that can play all over.
One inning at the big league level prior to today for David at first base. And in the minor leagues, 18 career starts. He's played first, second, third, short. He's played corner spots in the outfield. And he's pitched 5 times, I believe, at the minor league level. I'm assuming blowouts. Yeah, a little bit of everything.
If he could strap on the gear, he would certainly be a candidate to play all 9 in a ball game.
Harper backed off the plate. 1-0. I'm sure you had an outing like this once or twice in your career where you were in the rotation for a few months and then had to work out of the bullpen. What's your mindset if you're Mike Montgomery?
Never had to do it.
Never?
No.
Interesting.
Wasn't suited for it. Took me a long time to get loose.
2-1.
Now, there was a time in my career when I was scrambling to get back to the big leagues, and I was pitching in Vegas at AAA for Jim Riggleman, and he used me as a reliever, and that was kind of weird. I actually closed once or twice, and it was really weird because I'd been in the big leagues for 6+ years, I guess, at the time, and there was a lot of anxiety pitching the 9th inning in a AAA game for somebody who had never done it before. And the only other time I remember doing it was when I first got traded from the Yankees to the Astros, and it was September, and they'd never seen me pitch before, and they just threw me out there in a couple of games.
Low for ball 4. Our drive of the game is presented by Mercedes-Benz, and I guess that should be plural. The drives provided by Ryan Zimmerman. The best or nothing, Mercedes-Benz.
He came into the ball game with 26 batted in. Now he's up to 32. Mark Reynolds had a 10 RBI game earlier this year. Anthony Rendon had one last year, I believe.
Tyler Chatwood heating up.
Major league record for runs batted in a single game held by 2. Hard hitting Mark Whitten and Sonny Jim Bottomley, both Cardinals.
Stella will get it to Baez, and that's it for the Nationals in the 6th, leading 9-1. Hey, we know that guy.
Dog at the ballpark, better than a steak at the Ritz.
Good to see Bill Murray as always. I saw he was in his family on the last homestand with his brothers. As chops to first. And Zimmerman will get him.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
When the home team is getting thumped, do the food and beverage sales go up or down?
I would say depends on the inning. I think later in the game they would go down because people will have left. But I think early in the game they would go up.
That's what I'm thinking.
That makes sense.
You know, people aren't quite as glued to the action. Turn their attention to satisfying their hunger as opposed to watching the home team win.
I would say further, I think people order and eat more food at a ball game early than late, regardless of the game situation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people have that conversation, especially for a night game. You want to go get a bite to eat? No, we'll just eat dinner at the ballpark.
Swing and a miss by Happ. The count is 1-2.
The dog. We're going to go get some of that honey butter fried chicken.
And was that good? Called strike 3. Take the power of AccuWeather on the go this weekend. Download the new AccuWeather app today to get Chicago's most accurate forecast from ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Yeah, the honey butter chicken, our great stage manager Paula Ostroba, she made a mistake yesterday.
What'd she do?
She wouldn't take it. I kept eating it, and I implored her to take it out of the booth because I was stuffing my face with it. And she let me do it. Bodie with a base hit.
It's good to indulge. It's good to indulge every now and then to give in to those cravings.
Paula was doing me a favor. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that one had a little kick to it, had a little spice. Really good. Never did sample the beverage. Assuming that's good, that had a little maker's mark going on in there.
Strike on the Cubs catcher. Bodie not being held with the game 9-1 here in the 6th. Roark has allowed 5 hits today. Cubs got their run in the 3rd. And they're down 3-0 at the time. Almora and Rizzo started the inning with singles. Baez hit a sac fly. Rizzo caught stealing, and then Hayward flied out to end the threat. Stretch and the 3-1. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
Despite winning 2 out of 3 in Kansas City and winning the ball game yesterday, Cubs offensively just been kind of meh lately. It's a tough day to hit today. You get down like this.
Strike 3 called.
Just eat some chicken.
And they're making me hungry again. 9-1, Washington.
Brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time.
Right-hander Tyler Chatwood. And some other defensive changes. Ian Happ stays in, plays right. Wilson Contreras now playing first. Victor Caratini catching. David Bodie now at second.
Scorecard starting to look like a spring training card.
A 1-0 to Soto is in for strike walks. Been the big story for Chatwood this season. Major League high 88. This is his third relief appearance after 19 starts.
Well, the newbies and the new positions highlighted for you so you can make the adjustments to your scorecard at home, because I know you are dutifully scratching along.
I don't think we're at the point where Joe would use a position player to pitch, because he's basically empty his bench. That deflects off Chatwood and goes to Russell. It'll be 1-6-3. This father-son moment is brought to you by Sport Clips Haircuts. Check in online at sportclips.com/check-in and claim your spot today at any of the over 90 Chicagoland locations. Ben Zobrist, the only position player remaining. So again, I don't think this has the markings of a position player pitching. However, if Chatwood or a reliever to follow him has an inning he can't get out of and it really gets out of hand, then we probably will see another position player pitching.
The Caratini go back out there and Contreras go back behind the plate. We might see Jesse Chavez at some point today.
Well, these are the kinds of things, you know, Joe has to consider when he makes the changes to take Baez and Hayward and Rizzo out of the game. And it has been a trend. Teams using position players late in blowout games. Reynolds pops it up. Chatwood gets out of the way as Russell makes the grab right behind the mound. 2 gone.
Yeah, that was an interesting visual. All 4 infielders started heading to the center of the diamond, and Tyler said, all right, I'm out of here. I'll leave it up to you guys. Kind of looked at it, measured it, said, no, I'll turn it over to the boys.
Murphy 2 for 3 with a home run. 5 for 7 in the series. And a strike call. On the left field line and just foul.
De La Rosa was good in his Cub debut. If you're looking for a silver lining here today, inning in the 3rd. Struck out 4, walked a man, no hits. Move the bat so I can see the signs, please. God, that was so annoying. I hated when guys did that. You're looking in for the sign, and they're just waving the bat right in front of the catcher.
Bringing back memories. $41,320. Paid crowd.
Ballpark will be buzzing tomorrow night. Cole Hamels, Max Scherzer.
Another ball hit to left and foul. Yep, on paper it looks like a real fun one, and for Hamels it will be his Cubs Wrigley Field debut. Last time he pitched here he was excellent. 2 times ago he threw a no-hitter.
Murphy's so tough to finish off. Just a real quick short stroke. Due to be a free agent at the end of the year. Likely he will be back in a Nationals uniform, and I think he's just trying to convince the baseball world that he's healthy and still very productive.
Base hit to right.
Got me convinced.
Johnny Galecki would play him in the movie. Right?
Yeah,
Big
good
Bang
call.
Theory.
Yep. Cutter there from Tyler just didn't have a lot of action. Johnny Galecki whacked it into right for his 3rd hit of the day.
Wieters single, walk, and a run. Left-handed, and he takes a ball low. That is a strike, well located.
Nationals have not gotten much production at all from their catchers this year. Wieters having a down year. Keyboom, who we saw yesterday, hasn't had a lot of playing time, but he has not done a whole lot with the bat. Severino earlier, likewise. And Miggy Montero was there for a handful of plate appearances.
Two and one to Wieters. Here it comes. Another base hit rolled into right field. Murphy will advance one.
It's a bit of a conundrum for Tyler. The pitch he best commands is his cut fastball, and that's the one that's probably easiest to hit. His two-seamers, four-seamers, curveball all have great action. He's had a hard time commanding those pitches. The cutter he throws in the zone, but there you go. The Daniel Murphy biopic.
Yeah. Roark with his fourth plate appearance grounds out. And today's seventh inning stretch is presented by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, former Notre Dame men's basketball coach Digger Phelps.
All right, Cub fans, we're not just going to sing this today for Harry Carey, but this is the moment we step this up for Ernie Banks. Now, I represent the Fighting Irish. Today, we got 3 innings to represent the Fighting Cubs. Are you ready, Gary? A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause we root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. We got 3 innings. Let's go.
The Chicago News app today.
Always great to see Digger Phelps conducting the stretch. Kyle Schwarber here in the bottom of the 7th. A couple of changes for the Nationals on defense as Roark continues. Wilmer Defoe for Murphy and Taylor for Harper. Blistered into center. Taylor leaves his feet and he makes a sliding catch. Michael Taylor just into the game, robbing Kyle Schwarber.
And we always joke how the ball always finds the new guy. We saw with David Bodie after he moved over to first base. He was challenged, made a very nice play. And here's Taylor leaving his feet to haul in that line drive off the bat of Kyle Schwarber, taking away a knock. It would have been his second of the day. Having a hard time to find playing time these days with a pretty crowded outfield picture.
Strike to Addison Russell. Base hit left field. Second one for Russell this afternoon.
Runner didn't have a whole lot of sinking action, so Addy able to get on the backside of it and line it to left. It's a sinker. It's on the ground, perhaps through the hole. Stayed up and he delivered a good blow.
Costello walked in the fifth as a pinch hitter. He's now playing third, and he grounds to first. And Zimmerman right to the bag. Russell at second, 2 outs. We'll leave things up to Almora. This has been Tanner Roark's game for sure. Pitching here into the 7th inning with a big lead. I guess the key for him was to give up a hit early. He had the note. 3 of their previous 6 games, starters taking no hit bids into the 6th, and the Nationals losing all 3 against the Cubs, dating back to last year's playoffs.
And this continues a very good run for Tanner Roark. He went 7 innings in each of his last 2 starts, allowing just 1 run in each of those ball games. The start before that, 8 scoreless.
Good, didn't get it. 2-1.
Good to see Addy with a couple of knocks today. Schwarber swung it well. Albert has a hit, and the Cubs are going to need some of these other guys to pick it up. Lately, it's been really Baez, Rizzo, and Zobrist have carried so much of the load. Especially without KB, and there you see since August 1st.
Bazizzo?
Yeah, trying to come up with some kind of a blend there. Without Homer, the rest of the club.
Called strike 3. Roark probably done for the day, and he was really good. 9-1. potential vehicles of summer. Here are your probables. Brewers and the Braves. Left-hander Wade Miley, right-hander Julio Teheran. Both the Cubs and Nationals will have an interest in that game. Starting play today, the Braves 1 percentage point ahead of Philadelphia, 5.5 ahead of Washington, and the Cubs 3 games better than Milwaukee in the Central.
Phillies are in San Diego. Aaron Nola pitching against Walker Lockett, the rookie that we saw here last week.
Padres have been playing really good baseball on a tough road trip. They have acquitted themselves nicely.
Yeah, hitting a bunch of home runs. They're up against it tonight, though, man. Aaron Nola, what a year he's had.
Last night it was what, 2-0 Padres. Jacob Nix in his debut. Sinker is low on Eaton, and it's 3-1. Chatwood in his second inning of work gave up 2 singles, stranded both runners in the 7th inning. Cubs bullpen has not surrendered a run to this point. Fly ball well hit out into deep left center. Almora will make the grab right near the 368 sign.
Adam Eaton is really close to having a great day at the plate. He's been beaten to the punch by half a step at first base. A couple of would-be hits. Ball well struck, but a hang with him. So he'll have to settle for 0 for 4 with a sacrifice bunt.
And would you say Cubs pitchers have Adam Eaton out of their hands?
I would say, yep.
Yeah. 1-0 on Turner.
On this date in 1929, the great Babe Ruth hit career home run number 500 on his way to 714. And just to give you an idea how dominant he was in his day, second place all time when Ruth reached 500 was Cy Williams with 237.
More than double.
Yeah.
See, that stat right there would be that'd be the piece of evidence I think you would use if you're in a barroom debate about the greatest player ever, right?
Yeah, just how dominant.
It speaks to, compared to the guys he played with and against.
Nobody rose above the players of his era more than Babe Ruth. And not to mention that he started his career as a pitcher and was an outstanding pitcher too. He wasn't just an average guy. He was well above average.
I think that's settled.
I'm sure we could find somebody to debate with us. Count on Chicago's most accurate radar, a live Doppler 7 Max, the most advanced technology, only on ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Drawing the 1-out walk. Now Wilmer Defoe. Awkward swing for a strike.
And people might look at the record books and go, wait a minute, but Babe Ruth only won 1 MVP award. And that's true. But there was a rule in place back in the day that once you won one, you couldn't win another one.
That's great information.
Isn't that bizarre? And if you look at his year by year, he's leading the league in just about everything. So you could, justifiably, probably would have won 7 or 8.
Well, I want you as my as my counsel if I'm arguing greatest player of all time, because you've got all the good Babe Ruth stats and figures. Right, so you could make a case here. So this is how it's a slam dunk. You could take the pitching completely out of it and argue he's the greatest player of all time and win that debate, and then just to kind of slam it in the person you're arguing with their face, say, oh, and by the way,
take this.
He was
take
this good
this
as a pitcher.
You. Yeah.
It's like
on your way out the door, take that with you, pal. And the Babe, he wasn't on PEDs either. He was on performance unenhancing drugs. I mean, he was sloshing beer and eating hot dogs like a lunatic.
Defoe fouls.
And I think but that's a legitimate point. I'm goofy about it, but had he taken care of himself, what those numbers ultimately would have been.
Oh, man. If there had been an on-deck hitter over on the third base side, I shudder to think what would have happened. That ball smacked the bricks over there.
100 miles an hour.
Oh, my goodness.
40 feet away.
Swing and a miss. Strike three.
Good spin on the four-seam fastball up. The great Carl Hubble got his first major league win on this date in 1928, a 4-0 shutout of the Phils. Hubble was a 9-time All-Star. Famously struck out 5 Hall of Famers in a row in the 1934 All-Star game. Ruth, Gehrig, Fox, Simmons, and Cronin.
That would have been the second All-Star game, 34.
I believe so.
33, I believe, was the first one. Three and one on Zimmerman. Already 2 homers in the ball game. If you're Zimmerman, you're probably thinking, I'd like to hit a home run. And most guys don't think or try to hit home runs, but when you've already hit 2 and the game is 9-1, you might as well. Or take a walk. So you said Cy Williams, 237?
I believe so, yeah.
Is that not the baseballiest name in the history of our game?
Yeah.
I mean, Ted Young or, you know, Babe Ott.
Cy Williams.
But Cy Williams, that says it all.
It's like that guy could both pitch and hit.
Rogers, Trout. Soto chops toward the middle. And Russell will fire to Contreras, now playing first base. He's been in there a couple of innings. 9-1 Washington lead. By your local Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Tanner Roark will work into the 8th inning today. Got a lot of run support, but he hasn't needed a ton.
7 innings so far, 6 hits, a run. He has struck out 6, walked 1. Give the silver medal to Ryan Zimmerman with his performance here today.
Caratini fouls away. Victor with his first at bat. As we've been talking about Babe Ruth for quite a while, we should note Barry Bonds will have his number 25 retired by the San Francisco Giants this evening. 0-1. Going away. Jim Thome night, right? Over on the south side. The new Hall of Famer. Hit pretty well out into deep center, but caught by Taylor. Chatwood takes the at bat. Some would say he's batting for himself. I just prefer to say he's batting.
Go ahead and lean on one, Tyler. A little fun.
Base hit to right. Chatwood has always been a good hitter.
Seven hits for the Cubs now to the Nationals 12. Sam Tuivailala will undergo season-ending surgery.
Right, Mariner, right?
Yeah, he just picked him up.
Back-to-back hits
from the Cubs.
Roark might be nearing the end of the line. David Bodie has played third, first, and second in this game.
Watching Davey down there, he was up on that step, leaning out over the rail, and then after that second hit, he kind of moved into position, kind of like a guy in the rodeo when he's getting ready to jump on the bull, getting ready to come out of the gate. See, I used to live in Texas. I know about such things.
You do, and you're also a pitcher, and you probably would always have seen that, right?
You catch that
quick little peek
sometimes out of the corner of your eye.
So you see the manager has swapped positions, and you're going, all right, I'm like 2 pitches away from coming out of this game. Now he's moved up a step.
A step at a time. Sigliori there, Chip Hale in his right ear.
Got an idea after this pitch. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Wouldn't it be fun if you could do it for a month in an alternate universe? Every starting pitcher determines when he comes out of the game. Just take one team as like a test case. And the pitching coach and manager are not allowed to pull him. He has to pull himself from the game. What would it reveal?
A lot.
On which side?
Yeah.
Would guys come out sooner than you think?
Yes. I think there. Well, I think there would be guys that macho up and stay longer than they should. There'd be other guys like, okay, I got my 6 in. I'm in position for the W. I'm good. Because sometimes you get the fake pout when a guy gets removed from the game. I know the move. It's like, oh man, I can't believe you're lifting me. And okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean the incentive that you would build in would have to be about the team's winning percentage. It wouldn't just be simply you do it on a bad club. You'd want to do it like on a contender to give the pitcher some incentive to make a somewhat logical decision.
Right. Yeah, if it was wide open, you could see a scenario where a pitcher went out there, home plate umpire like squeezed him on 3 or 4 pitches in the first inning. Said, "This isn't going to be my day, man. I'm done. I'll come back in 2 days."
A 1-2 high. This is not terribly unusual to see a guy throw 115, but I would say these days it is odd to see a guy with an 8-run lead still working in the 8th inning. This many pitches.
Yeah, so I haven't looked ahead. I don't know what they've got going on schedule-wise. If he's going to have an extra day's rest. If they got some guys in the bullpen that they're trying to stay away from, but he needs to cover 4 more outs, Davey. Maybe just trying to give as many guys as possible a day off out there in the pen. But this is the kind of thing that can open you up to some second guessing. If your starter goes 120 pitches in a 9-1 game and comes up with a tender elbow 2 weeks from now, you're going to take some heat.
And that should end his day. Chatwood around third will score. And I was just going to say, Davey is hoping on a 3-2 there for either a hit or an out. The last thing he wanted was 6 foul balls in a row. Now he will come out and make the move. It's 9-2. And this call to the pen is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. Is being brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Lakeside Bank. Personal customized banking. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. By Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. And by Mattress Firm. Go to mattressfirm.com to see how far your budget can stretch. Matt Adams now in to play first base for Ryan Zimmerman. Wander Suero will work for the second consecutive day in this series.
We saw Wander yesterday. Cutters and curveballs.
Bounced foul by Schwarber.
You know, I think the other thing that might have been going on, we saw that conversation with Davey and Chip Hale in the Nationals dugout, and then I saw Chip run the length of the dugout up into the tunnel. So I wonder if Matt Adams was in the clubhouse and they decided to do the double switch and they had to go track Matt down. He might have been up in the tunnel taking some swings or something.
A fly to center. Taylor backpedaling, and he's got it. The Cubs get 1 but trail by 7 as we head to the 9th from Wrigley. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Night game tomorrow. Off day Monday. 2 day games against Milwaukee, and there will be big ones between the top 2 teams in the Central. Tyler Chatwood in his 3rd inning of work. 1-0 on Mark Reynolds. A high fly ball to left field. Schwarber takes a look back at the wall, and he makes the grab. Reynolds and Chatwood, former Rockies teammates, just had a look and a little smile as that ball was caught.
I didn't think Reynolds got that much of that one, but he's a strong guy.
Taylor came in to play center in the 7th and immediately made a diving catch. Cutter is outside. A ball and 2 strikes on Michael A. Taylor. Lined and caught as Happ, I think, lost it a little bit in the sun. For out number 2.
Yeah, that's the trajectory we see our right fielders struggle with here from time to time. Good work by Happ hanging in there and ultimately finding it. Shades on the back of the head. Probably not going to help a whole lot there.
One and 1 to Wieters. Base hit to left. What a day for him. 3 singles, 2 walks for Matt Wieters. Takes low and in. Nationals basically put this one to bed in the 4th with 6 runs. All the runs today charged to John Lester. He started the afternoon with a 3.44 ERA and finished it, unfortunately, with a 3.89. This will only be the Cubs' 7th loss, though, in a John Lester start. 17-6 through his first 23. One and 2. The kick and the pitch called strike 3. So Chatwood with a positive outing, 3 scoreless innings in relief. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. It's 9-2. Telecasts. We hit the air at noon on Sunday, August 19th. Special 30-minute pregame for the Cubs and Pirates. Reds and Cubs Saturday the 25th. We'll hit the airwaves at 1. And another Brewers-Cubs matchup Wednesday, September 12th at 7 p.m. Central Time. Shot into left for Russell. His 3rd single. Is everything today for both teams singles except for the 3 homers by Washington? Sounds right to you?
Right, yeah.
So 23 hits, 20 singles, 3 home runs. And Stella, strike 1 from Suero.
Maybe a top 5 name in the game already. Wander Suero.
Laced foul into the Cubs dugout.
It's played by trainer Matt Johnson down there at the end of the line.
Deflected off the net. And he made a one-handed pick. Wild pitch allows Russell to get to second base.
Pretty nasty action on that curveball. This cutter curveball combination that's reminiscent of Mark Melanson, who spent some time with the Nats.
Diving stop. Mart Reynolds to get LaStella. It's out number 1. Foul strike on Almora. Defoe to Adams. With Russell at third, 2 outs. It's Caratini.
Busy day up here on Broadcast Row. We've got ESPN Radio. FS1 is doing the game, along with the normal contributors.
Lots of talking and analysis.
Yeah, I'm looking down the line here. Scrappy utility man FP Santangelo right next to you, looking like he's ready to jump on a motorcycle.
Blowing in on Caratini.
Now,
FP and Bob Carpenter.
Yeah, so the hip quotient from that booth to this booth for the analyst, it's just clobbering me. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
Strike called, 2-1.
Got the burly third sacker, Ron Coomer down there. Chris Singleton is in the house.
AJ Przynski.
AJ's down there. That's right.
Here.
Right?
Yeah. Kenny Albert.
Look at AJ.
He's
Look at
locked
AJ. There's no ties in baseball.
Caratini draws the walk.
That Ryan Dempster?
Andy Warhol. Harry Carey glasses on. Nice hand for Ben Zobrist. Nothing and 2. Comes down to their final strike. Suaro now in the stretch in the 1-2 pitch. It's 2-2.
Ben Zobrist, he's just not going to give away an at bat. Coming off the bench, it's not an at bat anybody craves. 9-2 game, 9th inning. He's the ultimate professional.
Will split the gap. Russell scores. Here comes Caratini. That is a pinch hit. 2-run double for Ben Zobrist.
No big thing, but that is so good to see. Like I said, there's a lot of guys, veteran guys, been around forever. I don't really want that AB, but he was the last man standing. Pitcher's spot was up. He goes up there and grinds out a great at bat and is rewarded with 2 runs batted in.
Eric Lilliquist, the pitching coach, head to the mound. So 9-4.
Get a little something going out there in that bullpen, and just in case, a worst case scenario. mindset. You always have to be mindful of that if you're a big league manager. So righty Justin Miller. And our old buddy Henry Blanco back there with the binder.
0-1 to Happ. Too close, 1-1.
I was watching some of this Little League baseball that's been on TV lately. And these little shavers come up the head and they put a little bio line up there and they asked one kid who his favorite actor was. And one kid said Tom Cruise. And well, that's kind of weird because he's much older. Then the next batter, his favorite actor was John Wayne.
Oh. Called strike 3. Ian Happ is out. How old was the kid? 12?
Yeah.
Wow.
How can you be a John Wayne fan when you're 12?
So the Nationals beat the Cubs 9-4, setting up a rubber game tomorrow night, and we'll wrap it up from the ballpark after this.